there, welcome to my video on how to set up your drip schedule content by student course start date. In this video, I will go over first the drip schedule feature and how you can take advantage of the different options for dripping content to your students, and specifically go over how it works if you want to release it by the start date that your students want to begin the course. So let's first log into your Thinkific platform, our dashboard. I am logged into my partner account, so it will look a little bit different than the plan that you're on because I will have features and options available to me that is not available on other accounts. And I'm going to go right under to the Manage Learning Content section and click on Courses, and then you'll see these are some of the demo courses that I've created, and I'll just pick one for the purposes of this tutorial. So let's just pick one, and then I want to look once I'm in here, specifically in this drip section. So once I click on this drip section, I will see that there's different sorts of drip schedules. So I have the option for student enrollment date, student course start date, and on a specific date. So let me just go over the different options for the drip schedule and what it means for you and your course business. So if you are running a course business and you want your content to be released exactly when a student enrolls, then that's exactly how it's set up in Thinkific if you click on student enrollment date. This means that when a student signs up and pays for the course, the content will be immediately released to them. Now, if you say that you have students who buy today but aren't ready to start, or you're not ready to start until a week later, then that's where the student course start date feature comes in handy. And then if you want to release the content on a specific date because you're running cohorts and you're running live sessions, then this is where the on a specific date feature comes in handy. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to focus on the student course start date. This is a really great feature if you want to take advantage of, because if you are pre-selling, selling B2B or to corporate and manually enrolling students, and if you want to sell bundles, student course start date gives you a lot of options. This is specifically great because if you are pre-selling, then you could be saying, I'll open the cart up today for the next 2 weeks, but I don't want the content released until, early December or second week of December because, I'm not ready yet. I'm still putting the finishing touches on my content and on my course. And, I really want to take the time and just let my students know that they'll be ready on a specific date. The nice thing is that once you select this option and you customize the dates afterwards, then this is automatically set up so that Thinkific knows in the back end when to release the content. This is also effective if you're selling bundles because you may not want to release all the course content in a series of bundles at the same time. You may want to release the content for the second bundle after the first month because you want to make sure students have taken the first course and really fully given time to taking the first course before they get the content for the second course in the bundle. And then finally, this is really comes in handy and it's helpful if you're selling courses for B2B and or corporate organizations because you may have an agreement based on specific criteria that employees and other employees taking this course from an organization will start it at a certain time due to some requirements that they have with their employer and or their job regarding when it needs to be completed. This gives them the flexibility and you the flexibility so that you can take the payment for selling a course to a corporate organization, but make sure that people who are enrolled start on a specific date. So now I'm going to go into the actual drip schedule and show you how it works. So as you see, this course has 6 modules, and it's kind of broken down into week 1, week 2. Just so you know, Thinkific calls it chapters, but I prefer to call it modules because as my experience has told me, modules is really a great sort of structure and sort of language that resonates with students, and as an instructor, modules kind of sets the stage for sort of showing the learning path for people who are taking my course. What I would do if this was, if I'm selling this course and I want to set it up by a specific date, if my overview is kind of like, this is the content that's in the overview section. If let's just say this is kind of like, I want to structure it similarly to how universities kind of give you kind of like the first week kind of as a buffer to kind of settle in, give you the syllabus, make sure you know all the logistics and what the exam schedule and the, access, kind of like your intro. So let's just say if this was my intro as I would have taught it in a university and I just want to give students a buffer, then I would just say then the first week's content will be released 7 days, or if I know that it's going to be 7 days after they paid, then the content will be released exactly 7 days after the start date. And then when I get into the meat of the content, I'll say, okay, now that I've given them 7 days to get started on the first overview section module, now I want to continue on that same trajectory of releasing the next module every week. So the idea is that I want to make sure that I don't give the students all the content. I want to make sure that students really take their time and go through each content week by week. And this is great if you really believe that it's important to sort of let students kind of pace themselves and to encourage students to pace themselves as well. So then I'm going to follow the same structure that I've set above with 7 days, and then make sure this all says 7. And so the idea is that every week, the new modules will be released exactly 1 week after the previous week. So I'm going to change this all to 7 for this module right here. Now I can follow the same structure of setting it to 7 days, but if I look at it and say, well, it looks like people haven't quite finished week 1, and I don't want to release the next section of content strategy, the course content for this one, then I can delay it by changing this to, let's just say, 14 days. And the idea is if I really believe that the learner experience is important and to take the time to support and monitor my students' progress, then maybe I don't want to release content too soon, because I want to make sure students fully complete the first two modules before they see any new material. Because I believe as an instructor that if students skip around, they may not fully get the benefit of all the material because they kind of skip around and kind of go at their own pace. But that's sort of my approach, but you can sort of do what you think works best for you. And so then I can follow this and say, oh, I want this to release 2 weeks later. And then I can then follow either the same structure and then go back to 7 days here, or go back to 14 days, depending on what I feel is best for the students in this course. And the whole idea behind Drip Schedule is really to support the learner experience and to ensure that the learners take their time, and that I'm not releasing too much at once, but really releasing just enough to get them moving ahead module and week to week. So I'm not going to go through the rest because I just wanted to sort of show you how it works for the first sample. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave a message, leave a comment. Feel free to reach out. And I hope this video helps. And subscribe and send me some suggestions for any other videos that you have. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.